Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. And today we have our NFL Draft Special. Our prospect this evening is Byron Browning out of the Ohio State University. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. And joining me is a gentleman that's very talented. He knows all about the defense side of the ball. As I consider, is one of the greatest coaches in the high school level in the state of Georgia. He's a defensive coordinator over at North Atlanta High School. My man, Kevin the Bull Jones. So if you like the video this evening, please come in and share it. As I bring up Kevin the Bull Jones, as we're going to talk about Byron Browning of the Ohio State University. How you doing this evening, sir?
V, great day to talk about football.
Sir.
Let's rock and roll, my friend. Let's rock and roll.
Let's talk about the young man from Ohio State, man, Mr. Browning.
I tell you what, this draft right here, everybody is all up in arms about all these pretty offensive guys that are coming out in the draft. But I'm going to tell you something about this young man, Mr. Browning from Ohio State. He has done a great job of playing this past football season. His defensive coaches put him in a great situation to be successful. But this is what I like about him. He is athletic. He is mobile. He is 6'3". He's 240 pounds. He closes on the ball well. And when he gets to the runner, he's got bad intentions. He is a very efficient tackler. He is notorious for running through the ball carriers when he tackles them. But what's so fascinating about the way he played this season was the fact that even there was sometimes he caused so many fumbles, strip sacks, also open field runners running with the ball. When he closed in and broke down to tackle him, he was able to force them to cough that football up, and his teammates picked it up, scooped and scored, or they just recovered, and it was a huge turnover. This young man was a tackling machine in a great scheme at Ohio State University. And amazingly enough, no, he didn't have the gaudy stats because Ohio State didn't play as many games as everybody else, but they were effective in the scheme that they played. And this young man, him and Zaven Collins, to me, are the best players at the linebacker position because, Vincent, they can go inside, they can play outside, they can play 3-4 backer, rush backer, they can play 3-4 inside backer, they can play 4-3, they can play 4-2 defense. And Vincent, there even was a couple of times when Penn State played Ohio State, the tight end lined up, flanked out past the numbers, and Mr. Browning went out there and covered him in man coverage by himself. That's just beautiful. That doesn't happen every day for a linebacker. This kid is the real deal, and wherever he goes to play in the NFL, that'll be another awesome player, just like Chase Young coming out in the draft. This man right here is not getting the credit he deserves, Vincent, because he's all that in a bag of chips. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I like about Mr. Browning. He's out of the state of Texas. He's out of Fort Worth. He comes from the same neighborhood, and you should like this, Coach Jones. He comes out of the same neighborhood as Ashawn Robinson, who's a great D tackle for your team, Roll Tide, University of Alabama. And another gentleman that came out of the area was Raymond Claiborne, who played at Texas and had a pretty good career with the New England Patriots at the cornerback position. But when I look at Mr. Browning, I agree with you. Very versatile linebacker. Football IQ, I give him an A+. Off the charts. Has played all three linebacker positions at Ohio State. So I'm going to give you some names who he kind of put me in the mind of. Chip Banks, who came out of USC that was a first-round pick of the Cleveland Browns. Alvin Toles, who played at the University of Tennessee, who ended up going up there as a fullback. Then he became linebacker and got taken in the first round by the Cincinnati Bengals. And you should know this gentleman. His versatility is like E.J. Jr. Should that make you happy this evening, Coach Jones?
There we go.
Then one of the best linebackers who I think really Mr. Browning, his game is similar. He had a great career at Ole Miss. Then he went and played for the San Francisco 49ers. I think he got a little bit of Patrick Willism. And then finally, a guy that had a lot of versatility, a local guy here from the Metro Atlanta area who had a pretty good career at Georgia Tech, ended up playing for his home team, the Atlanta Falcons, ended up going to the Dallas Cowboys. Mr. Browning puts me in the mind of Keith Brooking. All those guys right there, same build, very versatile. And this young man out of the Ohio State University, I don't think he's getting his fair due as you say he should. He should be one of the better players. He should at least be talking about going in the second round.
Listen, I tell you what, Vincent, after, I love the linebacker position, and I love when defensive coordinators will put kids in a position and players and let them move around and make plays. Okay, so Mr. Browning, Xavier Collins of Tulsa, Dylan Moses of Bama, those three are big linebackers. I'm talking 6'3" plus, in some cases 6'4" for Xavier Collins. But this kid right here, Browning, he can do it all, because watching him drop in coverage, listen, there's always something that a linebacker does not do well. It's just a matter of how he can disguise it with his athleticism. Okay. And here's what I mean by that, sports fans. When you watch Baron Browning play, he is so elusive when he gets to the ball and when he goes through blockers to get to the football. It's because he relies on his eye discipline and understanding where he's supposed to be in the scheme. But for the old school football coaches that understand first step, downhill reading, all that old school stuff that people have gotten away from because everything is now spread offense, he has a lot of times where when he's in the box, especially when he's in the box playing linebacker, he slow reads things with his feet. But guess what, sports fan? His athleticism swallows that so that he still makes a tackle for loss. That's exceptional, Vincent. And then he can turn around. He's got pass rush moves off the edge, okay? And then he has this incredible bend off the edge, Vincent, that a lot of times linebackers who play on the inside, they don't have that, okay? They can't come off the edge and be a rush backer and make the play. The special ones do. This young man just reminds me, coming off the edge, of Khalil Mack. And if he has to cover somebody, Vincent, that's not a problem for him, because he's fluid enough in his drops and his hips opening up. And this is the special thing about him. I want to leave with all the sports fans. His ability in blitz schemes to disguise his ability to either rush on a blitz, go on a blitz and drop in coverage. That's a hard thing to teach kids to do. It's even harder to teach grown men to do. And a lot of times defensive coordinators just decide, let me just bring in a dime package, another secondary guy, and we'll let them blitz. This young man can do it all.
If you like the video this evening, please come in and share it as we broke down Baron Browning, linebacker of the Ohio State Buckeyes. And what I'm going to say about Mr. Browning, as Coach Jones said, I think he should be moving up in the draft, because I think he's a very, very special football player and very versatile. So that being said, it's the great band out of the state of Ohio. They had a song called Fire. Baron Browning is going to be fire at the next level in the 2021 NFL draft, as the Ohio players said back in 1975. Fire, doom, 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 doom. If you like the video this evening, please come in and share it. We are 100 Yards of Football. I'm Vincent Turner, and joining me this evening is a very talented Kevin the Bull Jones. Y'all enjoy y'all rest of the week here on 100 Yards of Football.